I've been wanting to film this for a couple weeks now because I just watched a review of Miley Cyrus and her Dead Petz from obviously when it came out like 4 years ago now. And a guy was reviewing it and he was saying like it sucks and her vocals suck and the whole album sucks and it's weird. And I get that. Like I really do. The album is weird, but he didn't put any context around it. So the same guy also reviewed Ariana Grande's Thank You Next album. And he put all this context around it, like she just broke up with Pete Davidson. There was like the attacks in Manchester. Like said why the album was sad. But he didn't do that for Miley Cyrus, for my girl. So as a Miley Cyrus stan, I feel like it's my duty to defend this album. Even though it's real weird, I get that. But I've been trying to convince my sister to listen to it for forever because I think it's a really good album. And I think if you don't get it, then you're not sad enough. So this album was created during the Bangers tour and after the Bangers tour. So Bangers was a really poppy album. Obviously, it was really popular. There was like singles. It was a whole thing that she did like officially as an official album. But Dead Petz was just like a side project that she released. So it is a whole album, but it wasn't endorsed by her like studio or whatever. She released it independently out of her contract. So she was able to be like real weird with it and would just like think of a song and record it right there. So that's why the songs are like not traditionally what she would do, or they're not like pop songs. It's because she was writing with the Flaming Lips too. And so it was just kind of like whatever came to her head, that's what will go into the album. She also had just gone through a super public breakup with Liam, who had cheated on her. So that's tough. She was, while she was on tour, her dog died, her like favorite dog, which is tough. It's a tough thing too. A lot of bad stuff was happening to her at the time. And so the album really reflects that. And she was hanging out with her friends a lot. So songs like Karen Don't Be Sad, like you can see it's inspired by her friends and stuff. I like the album because I think it's a really honest album. It's totally reflective of her life at the time. And I think that kind of every album of hers was. So like the earlier ones that were like real nice, like in her Hannah Montana days, like that's what she was going through. And then her Bangers one was like crazy and poppy, but she was doing all that stuff. Like she was partying a lot. She was being like more crazy. And then the Dead Petz album was like sad and like healing and very psychedelic. I actually watched an interview that she did talking about working with the Flaming Lips. So after her dog Floyd died, she was listening to a lot of their music and she said that it was really helping her. She said that when people before that would tell her, your music saved my life, she was like, I never really knew what that meant until somebody else's music really saved my life. So she was really depressed at that time that her dog died, and the Flaming Lips helped her. So that's why there's a lot of those influences on this album. Okay, so I kind of want to talk about some of my favorite songs and my favorite lyrics from the album. There's 23 songs on here, so I can't talk about all of them, but I'm gonna pick like 6 or 7 of them that I like and maybe say some lyrics that I like too. And I feel like I kind of like talking about the songs inside of the context of what I know is going on in her life, and then also like, well, I'm not going to talk about it, but I like how they would apply to me also. Like it's easy to project everyday situations onto the songs. Okay, so I'm going to start with Karen Don't Be Sad. Karen Don't Be Sad is the second track, and it reminds me of my sister when I sing it. So the lyrics are, Karen, don't be sad, they're just a bunch of fools, and you can make them powerless, don't let them make the rules. Karen, don't be sad, you know the truth is true. The world can still be beautiful, but that part's up to you. And I don't know, when I like first heard it, I just thought of my sister like telling her not to be sad or whatever. And this was about her friend Karen. She said, well, I don't think her friend's name is Karen, but she said it was about one of her friends. So I don't know, I just thought it was a pretty song, and it's really like smooth and calm. And that guy, that one reviewer said her vocals are bad on this album. I don't think so. I think they're just not like produced. They're just not overly produced. Like her other albums have a bunch of stuff, but I've seen her live. I went to the Bangers concert. She is not a bad singer at all with no help. So I don't know what he was talking about. The next song I want to talk about is called the Floyd song, Sunrise. Obviously this is about her dead dog, Floyd, but it's about like death and coping with it. The sunrise insists on gladness, but how can I be glad now my flower is dead? Oh sun, I see you happy, you made the morning dew. Now you're showing me the truth, I don't want to believe you. So that's like being in denial about somebody or something you love, like dying. So I think that's really honest stuff, and if you've ever experienced any kind of loss, then I feel like you can relate to the song. And it's not like really about coping with the death, like she's just sad in the song, and it's okay to just like be sad and grieve. The next song is something about Space Dude. There's 2 songs about somebody named Space Dude, which is this one and the next one that I'm going to talk about called Space Boots. I think that Space Dude is Liam, but I don't know. But it doesn't matter because it could be about anybody that you like. These are the lyrics that I like from Something About Space Dude. Sleeping makes us optimistic and we can't live without dreaming. It's the only time we can really be together, but I'm optimistic. Like, I don't know. I think it is about Liam because they broke up, but then like something is making her optimistic about like maybe being together one day. And like there's been a lot of talk, me and Megan talked about this, a lot of lyrics about dreaming and stuff, about people that you love. Also, all these songs, you have to listen to them, okay? The music like goes with the feeling of the song. She does a really good job of that. Like the tone that in the message that the song is trying to portray, the music goes along with that. The next song, Space Boots, again, also about Space Dude. Sitting here with nothing to say, looking out the window, it's just rain, but the sun's out for the day. And there's probably a rainbow, but I don't care because all the colors left with you. So it's like a breakup song. And this song, honestly, bops so hard. It has this like, the beginning sounds like kind of a raindroppy effect on some notes. And then the beat drops. It's so dope. I love that song. That's a great song. The next song is I Forgive You. And I think Mike will produce this one because it's more traditionally poppy and more upbeat. I forgive you, I ain't about that shit, so I forgive you. Too late to switch, so I forgive you. It ain't about that bitch, so I forgive you. Again, I think it's about Liam cheating on her, but it could be about anybody. Like, you know, somebody just hurt you and you gotta get over it. This is a good song to sing. I forgive you. I didn't mean all the shit I said, but it's better than what's going on in my head. Like, you're lucky I didn't say the rest of the shit I thought to you. I guess what I'm trying to get across is that all these songs are really honest. It's like actually what I would say, like me personally, to somebody that hurt me or like somebody that I broke up with. Like, she just has a way of like putting what I would say into a song with the music that matches the tone and the message of the song too. The next one I'm going to talk about is I Get So Scared. I think this is also about Liam. It's talking about when you lose somebody. Here, I get so scared thinking I'll never get over you. I'll always be making a compromise no matter what I do. And maybe I'll never get over you. That's so sad. What the hell? I think her vocals are really good in this song. I like the message that's like, again, I'm going to say it a million times, but it's just honest. Like, she's honestly like, I'm scared. Like, we broke up, but will anybody ever be better than you? I don't know. The next song I want to talk about is the last song on the album. It's called Twinkle Song. So, like, maybe the title throws some people off. But it's basically about, like, her dreaming. She says she has all these dreams about her and another person. And she repeats over and over again, what does it mean? So she's, like, dreaming that they get chased. She's dreaming that they die. Here. And I had a dream that you were dying and I wasn't even crying. I just sang you to sleep. I sang you to sleep. What does it mean? So she repeats that a lot in the song. And then there's a part that she's screaming. It's called, in Genius, like the section says like breakdown. And then it's like, what does it mean? What does it mean? But she is screaming that part in the song. But I like how she did it. She's screaming, but like on key. It like goes with the song. And if you're, I don't know, just portrays such frustration. And I guess like people could say that that's weird, but I don't know. I liked it. I thought it went with the song and the lyrics, and like it's kind of like going into madness, like slowly spiraling into madness. The song kind of portrays that by repeating everything and then her screaming at the end. So yeah, to that guy who said that this album sucked and her vocals sucked, I disagree. I strongly disagree. And like I said, as a Miley Cyrus stan, I had to do something about it. Yeah, it is weird, but I like it. I think it's great. I think the vocals are good. Like I said, I saw the girl live. She's not a bad singer. So I don't get how you can think the vocals are bad. It just sounds like Miley Cyrus. The album is weird, but if you put it in context, like you did for Ariana's album, it makes more sense. And if you open your brain a little bit, like, if you think you're going to get a Miley Cyrus bangers type pop album, you're not. It's going to be weird and like psychedelic. But she's working with the Flaming Lips, so like, what did you expect? It's psych pop. That's like what they do. I really like this album. I will continue to listen to the album. I still listen to the songs. If you're in a sad mood, it's a great album to put on and just be like, fuck me up, fam, and cry. Also, you don't have to listen to the whole thing. Like, 23 songs is a lot. So just pick the ones that you like, that you can relate to. There are some bops in here, and Mike will still produce them if you like the pop vibe. I'll continue to stand Miley Cyrus, probably until I die. I liked her when she was Hannah Montana. I liked her through Bangers. Especially, I liked her through her weird weed smoking phase. That was fine with me. And I like her now that she's like a grown-up, married, adult person. So yeah, stream Miley Cyrus and her Dead Petz. If you haven't, check it out. Give it a chance. It's amazing.